welcome to Dubai. Yee-hoo!
Cyberpunk and French.
Ah!
Bro, that's a big ass building.
That's a big ass building. Whoa.
We had made it to the City of Sand. Though we were jet lagged to high hell, we decided to make the most out of our day. We made our way down to Jumeirah Beach, where we discovered beautiful white sands, clear waters, and an excellent running track. Beats Burnham on Sea any day. The beach was also home to this amazing alien house, which was seemingly abandoned. This would turn out to be a really common sight in Dubai, where you'd have impressive architecture which had been completely abandoned by its inhabitants because they had gone to the more trendy or bigger home. After spending the morning on the beach, we decided to head to Dubai Mall in the afternoon. This is one of the biggest malls in the world and is also home to the Burj Khalifa. The mall had its own dinosaur skeleton and an aquarium as well as an ice rink, which we decided not to see. It was absolutely crazy, unlike anything we'd ever seen before. We also looked around the ultra-modern souk and also had a look at the plans for the new tallest building in the world, the Dubai Creek Tower. Dubai is an architect's heaven, and it's home to some of the most interesting skyscrapers in the world. However beautiful the city was, I started asking questions about Dubai and the United Arab Emirates as a whole. How does a small Arabic nation in the Persian Gulf afford all this? Why are so many of the buildings abandoned? Why are Emiratis never seen doing any of the service jobs? These are questions that would lie unanswered until the next day, which I will explain later on. We headed down to the food court to get Philly cheesesteaks, and then trying some more geographically appropriate food, beef kebabs and chicken kebabs.
Right, here we go. Food review.
This is the Philly cheesesteak from Hardee's in Dubai Mall, served by some lovely Filipino people. Absolutely brilliant. Best ever. Pretty good.
What you got there, Mr. Warwick?
Genuinely have no idea. It's some sort of kebab-based item. You got chips.
Good.
Chips. And then this, which you can just pick up like that.
Oh, you animal. Smells good.
Incredibly chewy. Spicy. Chewy.
Good.
After noshing down on our meal, we then went to see the Burj Khalifa fountain show. Now you can pay a lot of money to actually go up the Burj Khalifa, but you don't even go to the top of the building, you only go halfway up. Instead we decided to take the free option, which is to go to the Nike store, which is situated just above the fountains, and watch it all for free. As with everything in Dubai, it was amazing. From the mechanical engineering to the choreography of the water, it was an absolutely cool experience. We checked out a few more shops before we left and then headed out back to our host family. Later on, the Clifton Sun took us to La Mer, a commercial district. In the west, this would have been a really busy location and would probably be the centre of a town or a city. However, here it had been mostly abandoned due to it being a commercial failure. We also popped into an Arabic gaming lounge, which was the Clifton Sun's main hideout in the city. It was quite a cool experience, as we don't have many of these in Somerset. After playing a few rounds, we decided to head back to sleep, as our jet lag was quickly catching up with us. We also decided to give Dubai Macca's a go.
Welcome to Dubai's McDonald's. This is like the only unique item they really have, and it's just cheesy fries with like kind of chili on it. It looks pretty good. Pretty good. Sharing it with my boy Anne. Tom got the nuggets. Classic lad.
It was pretty good. The next day we did a 10k run by the beach. The running track we were on was one of the springiest surfaces I've ever ran on in my life. It was so good. Afterwards we decided to take a little dip in the ocean in some of the clearest waters that I've ever seen. We really wanted to see more of the real Middle East, and we were really lucky to be taken out by the man we were staying with. an English expat called Charlie. We first decided to go into the desert to try and find some camel racing. The little robots on the back of the camels is kind of symbolic in the slow change which is taking place in the UAE and Dubai. In a proper race, each camel has a rider and a small robot on the back which whips it into running. Previously, children were actually used to do this job, but this seemed banned in an attempt to modernise the sport for a Western audience. The president of the UAE, Sheikh Zayed Al Nahyan, proclaimed 2019 as the Year of Tolerance. This essentially means that other religions and other viewpoints apart from the traditional Arabic Islamist views are now actually accepted in the UAE. Or at the very least, tolerated. This potentially could open the UAE up to becoming more socially westernised, and the robots are a perfect example of this. We then headed to the sand dunes. I'll make a separate video on everything we did, but to summarise, we went to the dunes, jumped in the sand, ran up some hills, found some Emiratis, asked to get in their car, went dune bashing, and then went home for tea. As I said, way too much to be summarised in like half a minute, so we'll talk about it later on in a separate video. I absolutely love the sand dunes. Walking on the soft sand and just goofing around was so much fun. This has made me really want to come back and visit the Old Quarter, which is the biggest desert in the Arabic Gulf, and just travel around for a bit in there. As we were driving back, Charlie told us of some of the problems present in the UAE. These two things are ethnic stratification and general inexperience from leadership. In Dubai, Emiratis are the only first-class citizens. Under them are Arabs and whites who work in business jobs. Then there are Filipinos and Africans who usually work in more service-based environments. And then there are South Asians who get the worst of it, and they're mainly found in construction and kind of real manual labour jobs. These South Asians are the Dalits of the UAE and are considered untouchable by most. This isn't even hidden within Emirati society and is extremely apparent. Because only Emiratis can take the top jobs, other nationals can't share their experience. Coupled with the fact that Emiratis are generally younger than the rest of the world, this leads to a lot of really rash, stupid and overly opulent decisions. Lots of flamboyance and not a lot of substance. We headed back to the airport after a few hours, where unfortunately Tom's passport mishap finally caught up with us. Due to him not having a valid visa or a passport, he was denied entry onto the plane. This is where our stories will temporarily diverge, as Tom has to head back to London to sort out his citizenship, and we carry on to Sydney. After 12 hours of flying, me and Adam finally arrived in Sydney, and on to the next stage of our adventure.